And staying in Pennsylvania, one town is seeking answers now a year after their water was contaminated when an abandoned well began leaking gas and fluid. Residents in New Freeport say they still don't have answers as to what exactly happened or whether their water is safe to drink. All this despite promises by the company who is drilling, EQT Corp, to investigate. The Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection has launched its own probe. Abandoned oil and gas wells are a problem in the U.S., with an estimated 3.5 million scattered in forest backyards, some even near waterways. And Texas officials are warning about abandoned and unmarked wells and cisterns. There are an estimated 150,000 statewide. A recent tragic incident is now highlighting the dangers. Officials say earlier this month, 3 hog hunters who were visiting from Florida and their dog died after they fell into an uncovered cistern just outside of Austin, Texas. The victims and their dog could not escape. They were eventually overcome by toxic fumes. And a cistern has solid bottoms and sides so they can store water. They're not regulated in Texas. And now officials are asking anyone aware of abandoned wells and cisterns to report them. Joining us now to talk more about this is Public Information Officer for the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, Tela Mange. Tela, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. So would you mind first outlining the major differences between a well and cistern and what residents should do if they know of these in their area?
Well, a cistern is designed to take rainwater and store it. Water wells, the way that they're constructed, they can take in groundwater, like from the sides of the well. They don't generally collect rainwater. They'll go into the groundwater. These are not to be confused with oil wells. These are just water wells. So we know that there are thousands and thousands of these water wells and possibly cisterns that have been abandoned and may be deteriorating. Deteriorating means that they could be actively polluting or contributing to pollution in the aquifers that end up supplying groundwater to the people here in Texas. One thing that we know is that, we're coming up, September 1st is the official opening of dove season here in Texas, so in certain areas. So we know that there'll be lots of people going out to new property that maybe they have a new hunting lease where they're not familiar with the ground, that when they're out there walking around, they might see what is actually an abandoned well. And if they do, we'd like for them to report it to the Department of Licensing and Regulation so that we can get in touch with the landowners and try and get those abandoned wells properly covered so that people and livestock and animals don't fall in and die.
Got it. And I really appreciate you highlighting the issue with pollution as well. That is another major issue in regards to this. So this is not the first incident involving an abandoned water well in Texas. As you know, Tela, in 1987, an 18-month-old baby fell into one and was rescued 58 hours later. So why is it relatively easy to fall into one? And what can somebody do should that happen to them?
Well, it's relatively easy to do because sometimes when the wells were covered, maybe the landowner at the time covered it with a large rock, or maybe they had wood that covered it up, and then as years went on, people forgot that it was there and the wood rotted, or somehow the rock covering the top of it ended up getting displaced. And so then there's no one there to say, hey, watch out, there's a hole. It's really easy, especially, these folks who fell into the cistern out in Bastrop County it was in the dark. And from what law enforcement was able to ascertain, the dog evidently, got away. They went to go look for it, realized it was in the well. They went in, someone else went in, third person went in to try and get them, and were overcome by fumes from what was probably rotting carcasses of animals that had caused this buildup of toxic air. We want to make sure that if someone falls into a well, call law enforcement as soon as possible. If you've got, rope with you or something, try not to go into the well yourself. Try and help them get out. But the minute you see that there's something that looks odd, maybe there's something sticking out of the ground that doesn't have a top or that just looks very odd, we have on our website, the news release that we sent out has photographs of what an abandoned water well could look like. And if someone sees that, then let us know so that we can contact the landowner and try and get that taken care of.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.